G'day everyone, it's Andrew Whitehouse here, and then in this week's 60 Second Science we've got a really interesting paper that we're going to discuss about girls on the autism spectrum. Now of course there's now mounting evidence that girls on the spectrum might actually be under-recognised in our community, and the study we've linked to this week was a really lovely experimental example that shows this very point. So what the study did is it recruited 289 educators, so people who worked in schools, and showed them or asked them to read a series of vignettes, so short descriptions of boys and girls on the spectrum who show a male typical presentation of autism or a female typical presentation of autism. And they asked them to rate what's the chances or the likelihood that they will refer this child for a diagnosis of autism. Really interesting findings, two main findings. Firstly, educators were more likely to refer if the story was about a boy rather than a girl. The second thing was that educators were more likely to refer if the child showed a male typical presentation of autism rather than a female typical presentation of autism. Now, of course, this is really interesting finding because it's a really clear illustration of how there might be under recognition of autism within the community. It's not just specific to educators, it's specific to, it's general across many different professions out there. Now, the really interesting thing is that in the National Guideline for Autism Assessment and Diagnosis, there is information about male and female typical presentations of autism. So I really urge you to go and download that form and take a look at that information, which we'll put with this post. Thanks for listening.